I'm making use of this brown pattern paper. So the first thing I'm going to do is to take my shirt placket allowance, and my shirt placket allowance is 3 inches. So I'll be taking 3 inches, I'll be dotting 3 inches from top to bottom. So after that, from this line, I'll start taking my basic measurements. My shoulder divided by 2 is 7 inches. I'll add half inches for the sewing allowance. That is 7.5. 7.5. My neck width is 3 inches. Neck depth 3 inches. So on this shoulder line, I'll go down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Then connect it to my neck. Then from there, I'll take my armhole measurement, my armhole divide by 2, or you can divide your box into 6 and add 1.5 inch. So my armhole divide by 2, I have 7.5, 7.5, and I'll make sure I still have my 7.5 here. I'll make sure I have it here. 7.5. So I'll take my bust point. My bust point is 11 inches. I'm going to be adding half inch for my measurement for the sewing allowance, so I won't have any form of shortage. 11 inches plus half, that is 11.5. And my half length, that is shoulder to waist, I have 16 plus half inch, 16.5. My shoulder to hip, I have 25 inches plus half inch, 25.5. Or you can measure from your waist to your hip to get your hip allocation. I'll make straight lines here. And for my gown length, this pattern paper is 40 inches, but plus my sewing allowance, I will make use of 42. So I'll use this 40 inches, but when I'll be cutting it on my fabric, I'll add my 2 inches for the hemming allowance. So we have 40 inches here. So now on the armhole here, I'm going to take my bust divided by 4. My bust divided by 4 is 9.25. Remember, all our measurements will be starting on this line here, 9.25. Then on this armhole line, I'll divide it into 2. Then I'll go in by 0.75. Use my French curve to connect them together. Then on my bust line, I'll take my bust divide by 4, and I have 9.25. My waist divide by 4 is 7.5. And my hip divide by 4 is 9.75. Then this 9.75, I'll still take it to my gown length. So because I want this shirt to be a bit free, I'll be adding ease allowance and my sewing allowance. So my ease, you can determine the ease allowance you want to add. I'll be adding half inch for my ease allowance and 1 inch for my sewing allowance. So altogether, I'll be adding 1.5 inches. I'll be using the front pattern to cut out the back. So because of that, I'm going to draw the back neckline and the armhole. So for the back depth is 1 inch. Back depth is 1 inch and the width is still the same. The width is still 3 inches. There is no curve at the back here, so just so I'll be placing this front pattern on the back pattern. And to do that, I'm going to fold out the placket allowance here. This is my back pattern and here is the front, but the back pattern will be longer than the front pattern. So I'll cut out part of this pattern and use it to extend the back pattern. I'm using the front to cut out the back pattern. Our front pattern is going to be 1 inch shorter than the back pattern because we are making a shirt dress. If you want to make a standard shirt dress, 1 inch will be shorter than the back pattern. But we are still going to replace that 1 inch on the back pattern. That is why we extended our pattern. So I'll minus 1 inch from the front pattern here. But before you cut it out, use it to, this part is going out. Before you cut it out, use it to trace the back pattern. So you know your back is on fold, So it will be exactly here. You can pin at this point. I'll replace my 1 inch on the back pattern here. So you go up by 1 inch. So that 1 inch we took out from the front, we have replaced it on the back pattern here. So the next thing to do is just cut out. So I'm going to cut out the back now. So this is our back pattern. So next thing is to cut out the front neckline, cut out this and our armhole. Remember the front is still on fold. So here is what we have. Here is our front pattern. Don't mind the shape here. That is because we cut it on fold. So you can use this now to cut out your fabric. And remember, if you've not added your seam allowance, your hemming allowance when drafting, make sure you add it on your fabric, okay? So that is what I'm going to do. The only allowance I'm adding to my fabric is the hemming allowance. You cut out the back. And remember, when cutting out the back, your fabric should be on fold because the back does not have an opening. Here is my front. So I'm going to fold half an inch inwards like this and iron. You fold it and iron. Then you fold 1 inch. After the ½ inch, you fold in 1 inch again. Iron and sew. Make sure you sew very close to the tip. You do the same thing for the other side of the front. Let's use our pattern to demonstrate. Let's say this is the right side of your fabric. What you are going to do, and this is the wrong side of your fabric, you are going to fold in ½ an inch and iron. Make sure you iron. You fold in ½ an inch and iron, then you fold 1 inch and iron. Then you sew very close to the tip here. You do same thing for the other side. Remember the front piece has 2 sides. After sewing my placket, I'm going to join my shoulders together, my front and back shoulders together with ½ inch. I've sewn the shirt placket and I've also sewn the shoulders together. So you can see that the back shoulder is coming to the front. Are you seeing? So I'm going to align my armhole together, then notch the shoulder like this, where I'll start fixing my sleeve. Notch the shoulder. So I'm going to fix my sleeve. It's a basic sleeve. You can decide the sleeve you want to attach to your shirt, and also cut this extension on the neck here. Just trim out the excess. I'm going to fix my sleeve and close the seam. I've sewn the sleeves and also the sides. As you can see, the gown is coming out nicely, but I noticed this video is becoming too long, and I'm going to stop here. On my next video, the next video I'll be drafting out the collar stand and the collar. Please do well to subscribe, like and share. See you on my next video.